Good morning, beautiful people in my phone. Welcome to Car Conversations, where we talk all things faith, freedom, football, etc. My name is Jocelyn Carr. Great football over the weekend. Pause before I get into football. I pray you are well. I pray you are approaching this day, this new week, with a sense of renewal and refreshment. It's much cooler this morning than it's been the last few mornings, and it feels really good outside. And I'm welcoming the fall. We're at the end of October now. It's time for a little chilly weather, Maybe I want to make some chili, but it hasn't been cold enough, yet. So, praying that this is a blessed week for you, and that, everything you set out to accomplish, all of your goals will be met this week. And if they aren't, let's just say your top 3 are. Let's just keep it in increments, right? We don't have to accomplish everything in a week. We know the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. But let's just crush those top 3 goals this week. I'm praying that for you. Praying that for you this week. Amen. I got my blue on this morning. Obviously, I planned to wear this already. I thought my team was going to win last night. I thought we were going to do it and beat those 49ers. And we didn't. But that's okay. Dallas Cowboys for life. That's me. Without 2 of our key defensive players, we still did all right. We did better than I thought, Dak, I know, wishes he could have some of those passes back. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, the Tide rolled on Saturday. Yes, the Tide rolled on Saturday. If you're not liking what you're seeing with this swarm defense that Kane Womack has put together now, what are you looking at? Okay, you're missing it. You're missing what he's doing on defense. I absolutely loved it. I, at the beginning of the season, did ask to see more from Kane Womack and this defense. And as the season goes on and the guys begin to play together and gel together, you begin to see how it works. Now, we've lost key players on defense. So these are new guys that are stepping up. Shout out to Bray Hubbard. Shout out to B-Hub, the freshman, getting the pick. Shout out to all of the defensive players that got interceptions for the last several games. So if we can continue to win that takeaway column, we got to get points out of it. And that's what killed us with Tennessee. We did not capitalize on all of those turnovers that the defense gave us. But in this game this week against Mizzou, we did. We capitalized on the turnovers, and it was great to see. I mean, we had at least 3 picks again. I'm loving that. I'm loving what I'm seeing there. Jalen looked better. Jalen looked more comfortable. Jalen looked like he was playing more freely, back to himself, back to his normal, a level of confidence. I still believe that he's battling an injury that we don't know about, a lower body injury, because even when he did run for that touchdown, he ran for 1 or 2 touchdowns. Anyway, the long run that he had that was a touchdown, he did not have the explosiveness. It just did not look the same. So I believe he's battling something. And of course, we won't know about it until, the end of the season. That's the way it goes, and Lord willing, we don't know about it to the end of the season, and nothing happens before then. Keon Sabb was out there playing with a broken foot, which countless football players get out there, countless athletes in general get out there with broken bones and torn ligaments all the time and still try to make a go for it, so shout out to the soldiers. But we didn't have Keon Sabb, and it looked all right. Our defense looked pretty darn good. I'm just gonna say, we really did. Now, it was Mizzou, and then their backup, Brady Cook is an example of an athlete that was out there trying to play, obviously injured. Then he hit his hand, and hurt his hand a couple of times, and then was out completely. He probably did. I hope he didn't fracture anything, and I hadn't followed up with the reports, but get well soon, Brady Cook. He is a warrior. He's one of those that's a warrior. But I love the shutout. I love Kane Womack's intensity, at the end of the game on the goal line to send the ones back in the game to keep the shutout. I absolutely loved that fire that he exhibited. I liked what I saw with Coach KDB getting in 55's grill on the sideline. Now, 55 needs to do better and look that man in the eye when he's getting in his grill. But I liked what I saw with Coach KDB chewing some tail on the sideline. I absolutely did. Now, you don't have to become somebody that you're not, but these kids, they seem to respond better. These kids, that's me. These student athletes seem to, these younger people seem to respond a little bit better when there is more structure and more discipline. And the studies have shown. Okay, they like routine, they like structure, they like knowing that you care. They want you to get on them, because they know that they're out of line. So I heard the shirts are being tucked in now, going to practice. I heard that some things have changed. You got to be on time. I've heard that a lot of the things that should have never gone away regarding the Alabama standard are now back in place inside the Mount Moore complex, and I am grateful to hear that. Let's move on, because we have a bye next week, but then we have LSU and TAMU, Texas A&M. Wow. That game there. Kyle Field never disappoints. I'm still waiting for the day that I get to go to a game at Kyle Field. It never disappoints on screen. And the 12th man was in full effect. Elko, I didn't even know. This is how Texas A&M has totally not been on my radar at all, that I didn't even know the name of the new coach. Pardon moi, okay? Forgive me that I did not know the name of Texas A&M's. I didn't know it enough to call it out. Let me say that. I had seen his face, but I didn't know his name enough to call it out. Now I know Mike Elko. The world knows Mike Elko. What he did, pulling that quarterback to put in Marcel Reed to go take over and change the entire dynamic of that football game in the third quarter. Shout out on Nussmeier. They got the defense. Texas A&M's defense totally rattled Nussmeier, who a lot of people were speaking, Heisman hopes for Nussmeier. And I'm not saying, I said he was a good quarterback. I said that a couple weeks ago as we were getting ready, as I was thinking ahead to playing LSU in Baton Rouge. But Nussmeier turning that ball over like that 3 times. Marcel Reed hitting the next level gear, which I don't know why. He's played this season, right? Was it the Florida game? I'm not sure when Elko switched QBs away from Marcel Reed. I want to say it was a Florida game earlier in the season. But LSU, you got to study. When 2 QBs have played, you got to be ready for both, right? They completely were not ready for Marcel Reed, and they couldn't handle him, honey. And Texas A&M, woo. mean, BK was on the sideline. Brian Kelly was on the sideline tearing. I mean, he was going one by one, just tearing into players. And I was like, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. But nothing changed. That fumble, that foiled field goal attempt, that the holder wasn't even ready for the snap. Here's what I know, though. This is what I know. They're going to be out for some blood when we play them in 2 weeks in Baton Rouge. That's what I know. Because LSU wasn't supposed to lose that game. So, yeah. Texas A&M is a team in the SEC that's trending up. I like what I see from them. And I don't like Texas A&M. Let's be clear. But I like what I see from them. Yeah. Let's see. The last team that I'm going to talk about is I'm going to give props to Coach Prime, because props are due. Y'all know I have liked Coach Prime from the beginning when he played for the Falcons and the Braves. But no, as coach, I have liked Coach Prime since he took over, Colorado. I watched him only a little bit when he was at Jackson State. But, wow. Congrats to the Colorado Buffs, Coach Prime, and everything that he has achieved at the Buffs, taking them to they're going to go to a bowl. They will be at a bowl, and that is fantastic, and you love to see it. You love to see that. Shedeur and Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is probably the top, no probably about it. He's the top Heisman candidate on my end. If we're going to go for QBs, I love the way Vandy's QB fought against Texas. That's the other game I didn't mention. I love the way he fought against Texas. And they were a play away from beating Texas. That QB and Travis Hunter, absolutely critical players, the most valuable players for their entire team. So those are my top two candidates. I do like Dillon Gabriel in the QB position still, because Oregon, Oregon's the number one team, right? I don't know who they played, like Illinois or somebody like that, but yeah, but still. Anyway, that's about a wrap for the weekend. I'm sure that was a very condensed version, and I wanted to go a little bit deeper, but that's about enough on a Monday that we're going to get. Listen, y'all have an amazing week. Go crush your goals. Don't let the obstacles get in the way. Are they really obstacles, or are they perceived obstacles? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Don't let them get in the way. Unless the Lord is telling you, no, stop. Go crush them. All right. I love y'all. Y'all stay winning and y'all stay free.